welcome to Stream of Gaming, a weekly podcast on gaming, film, music, and art, and pop culture from an artist's perspective. As always, if you'd like to support the podcast, please visit patreon.com/streamofgaming. The more help we get, the more platforms we can publish in, and the more content we can bring to you. Also, this is Gerbs talking, and we also have
Brent.
other people in this. So introduce yourself, please.
I'm Brent.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Marcus.
All right, and this week's topic is about, basically busy season. Everyone is either going back to school or in Kyle's and Marcus's case, our job gets a little crazier because kids are going back to school.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
And I don't know about you, Brent. Is your job getting crazier too?
I mean, the lighting retail industry isn't quite the same as education, but we have our on and off weeks.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm even thinking of like corporate America, and the summer months, they're usually like not as busy as they are during. I mean, I guess certain things are going to be more time consuming, I guess, or more.
Well,
maybe there's certain companies that have bigger events that happen during the summer.
For us, the busy times is January and May, and it's not specific to us. The lighting industry has two big conventions around those times, and that's when products get announced. So that's when everyone's kind of uppity about.
I wonder what those conventions must be like. They must be illuminating.
Oh, you hit it right on the nose there, Kyle. Oh my God.
So
if we were here in this, if we were all together in the same room, I'd be staring at you just like, really, Kyle? Brent got this look earlier. It was like, very good, and you nailed it.
Needless to say, it's about busy season, and that could be you preparing for school or sending your kids off to school. Whoever's listening to this podcast, that could be the case. And it is a stressful time, but yet we still have games that we like to play regardless of how busy it gets. Mm-hmm. So I want you guys to picture back when you were younger, when you had your first system, and you're like, I'm going to play this game regardless this weekend, and I'll get my homework done so I can play more of this. So also, before we go into that topic, I would like to public announcement. If my phone does ring, I'm sorry, I am on call. And worst case scenario, if I do go on a call, Brent, you will take it over.
Sure.
Okay? Fine. I am third on call, and the other two have not gone out yet, so we'll see how that goes, but that's where I stand right now.
Cross the fingers.
And hence the busy season and crisis workers going out to kids that are not doing well. I'm just going to put it that way because I don't want to be morbid. So, back
to happy place.
Back to happy place. Video games.
Anyway, so...
Well, man, when you brought up this topic, like, I thought you meant, like, now. Like, because I'm going back to school in, like, 3 weeks. And
yes, but first we're going back to our child self, Kyle.
I don't like him though.
I don't. Yeah,
he's a dweeb.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like little Kyle is just like a pudgy middle schooler.
I was a theater nerd.
But just go back to the game you played when you could.
I mean,
if we're talking like going back really, really far, because I really didn't have a console until I was 13.
Yeah.
Up until that point, I was mostly just playing Game Boy. So if I was to video game and my folks weren't to catch me, because that was always one of those, you play for an hour, then you have to do 2 hours doing something else because video games will turn your brain to mush. Shows them right. I went to college and played video games throughout.
Yeah.
But, I think the one I would just go back to all the time was Pokemon. Red in particular, and then Gold, Silver, Crystal when those came out, just because you could go back to a save file that you hadn't played in a couple months or a couple weeks and pick up right where you left off, try to remember what you were doing and go from there. And if you just happen to beat the game, you could go, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to start all over again because why not do things different?
Yeah.
That was always what I really liked, was being able to try to do something outside of my comfort zone, not doing the same Pokemon that I always would do.
Yeah, I also think that the Game Boy came at a time when schools were not ready to and were not prepared for.
Oh no, not at all. I remember the first time I ever played a Game Boy was on the playground.
Oh yeah.
And I took to it right away, and my friend went, "Hey, would you like to borrow my Game Boy for the night and play this?" Absolutely.
I mean, let's be fair to schools.
Became a problem at our school.
Let's be fair to schools, though. Schools weren't prepared for Tamagotchi, like much less Pokemon.
That's true. That's true.
Oh my god, Tamagotchi.
They weren't prepared for many things, but Game Boys were the thing gaming wise that like everyone was bringing their Game Boy to school, and everyone was just playing them at recess, and so it got so bad at a point in the terms of a school. As someone who is a teacher, I can understand the distracting, but like it got so bad to a point that they were like, okay, no more of this, no more it was mostly Pokemon, but like no more Pokemon. But then they were like, okay, no more Game Boys, and that's when everyone was kind of starting to crack down on those. But then like every system after that, it was hard for them to keep up with it. Like I remember being in high school, and Brent and I were in high school at the same time, where I was a freshman, he was a senior. And I remember because we were both on the staff for radio, and like there were a bunch of people on our school's radio that would bring in their DSs, and they would get onto the school Wi-Fi, because this was before people started blocking school Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And they were playing Mario Kart DS on Wi-Fi.
Oh man, I remember one night we all had to go together because it was like fitting night for tuxes, which applied to like both band people and choir people, and dresses and stuff like that. And so we were all bored, just kind of waiting in line. And I think I handed someone my DS. I had a Game Boy Advance in there. You had a Game Boy Advance, and then I had something else. I had like. I had games on my cell phone.
Oh yeah,
and then I
think that's because you didn't have your driver's license yet.
No,
and I was a freshman, and I think our mom was like signed up to help with the fittings. Yeah. So like we got fitted right away, and then we were just sitting out for hours.
Yeah, they're like, it was like I handed someone my DS, I handed someone my Game Boy, I handed someone my cell phone because they had like Tetris or something on it, and then I'm still left doing nothing there. So I pull up my freaking graphing calculator, TI-83 or whatever, and I'm playing Snake on that thing. So I had like 4 or 5 different mobile consoles going while we're just waiting for people to get fitted.
Well, now they're even crazier. Those TI-89s can have like Doom on them. Like,
no, what?
You're lying.
I had the first hour of Final Fantasy 1 in my calculator back in the day.
I could see that those things can handle a lot. I too would bring my my DS to school. I still remember in high school, that's how I met my girlfriend. We had the same study hall together, and she was sitting there, honors classes, doing her homework in the study hall, as you should. What am I doing? Playing Pokemon Diamond.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? Do you have homework? No. I did it in the class before. So why are you playing Pokemon? Because I don't have any homework.
Yep.
And this is boring.
Yep.
Did you guys ever get your Game Boy taken away as you got older in school?
Never in school. No, I was too much of a good student, quote unquote.
Oh, goody two.
I had mine. I had mine taken away once and almost had it taken away a second time.
Yeah.
My senior year, I was playing it in one of my math classes just after a test, being quiet, and she thought I was on my phone. She said, give me what you have. She was expecting a phone, and I handed her my SP.
Oh man.
And she was just, and I had a Ruby version in it at the time, and she was sitting there like, okay, was not expecting that. Said, come pick it up after school. Came in after school, and she said the one phrase that you never want to hear on a Pokemon game. I clicked new game.
What? I bet she knew.
No. It gets better. She goes, I started off, but I had no idea what I was doing, so just turned it off. I don't want to see this in my class again. She said it with a smile on her face, so yes, ma'am.
Oh, man.
But I still remember after my physics final, my buddy and I would share my Ruby version, and we would alternate each week with this team. And we're sitting there after the final, and we're at the Elite Four going against the one Claydol, and it's being an absolute mother of all bitches.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting there in the front row after the final, minding our own business. Everyone's done and walking around, and just out of nowhere, we're both sitting there, and we both go, "Fuck you, Claydol! Fuck you!" Just you get so heated in the moment, and the teacher just looks at us and goes, boys, what was that? Nothing, sir." But
wow,
we had it out in class. He didn't say anything because it was finals time. Everyone was done. We weren't being disruptive.
I mean,
good old Pokemon in high school.
You guys reminded me in grad school. Yes, I had a little bit of time to play a game, and actually, I got to class early so I could play. I brought my laptop and I had Roller Coaster Tycoon on it, and I played Roller Coaster Tycoon right before class started. And once my professor is like, "Hey, what are you playing?" I'm like, I'm playing Roller Coaster Tycoon." He's like, "Oh, that's cool. Like I've never played this game before." I'm like,
oh,
he had no idea what you were saying.
I have so many great games. I have so many great moments of adult Kyle playing games at school, being a teacher. So. Yeah, this is great. So because as a teacher, I connected very much so with the like nerdier of the students, which were like these kids are like me when I was in high school, you know.
I remember this.
And so when the Switch came out, there were like maybe two of us in that were like, there was like me, and then like one of the students had a Switch in the band program. And so like a couple of times after school, we would like they would come, like a bunch of kids would come into my office, and we'd we would play Mario Kart on the Switches when it came out. And then we like when we went on tour, we did that. And then
tour?
No, not tour. you
I had to.
No, you didn't. You didn't have to. You wanted to.
I wanted to.
But yeah, we would do things like that, and it was interesting, you know, all these kids huddling in my office after school, and being like, "Let's play Switch," and it's like, okay.
You guys remember the first time I went on tour with you guys in college, where I had the 64 emulator out on my laptop on the bus, and we were playing Pokemon Stadium?
Yes.
Through the mountains on the tour bus, playing Pokemon Stadium and Mario Kart on a laptop.
Oh. And I remember our band director like, "What are you guys playing Pokemon? What are you guys?"
And we just like looked at him dead serious. He asked, "Are you guys playing Pokemon?" Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No hesitation, just stared him right in the face and just went, "Yes."
Yes.
My most recent though was just this last year, the orchestra that I play in, we played at a conference out in LA. And so we were on a plane for like 4 or 5 hours, and like I was just like, I was playing my Switch, and the person sitting next to me was just like, "Hey, wait, it's like, is that a Nintendo Switch?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "I have Mario Kart. You want to play?" And she's like, "Yeah." And so we played Mario Kart for a little bit.
Did you get her number?
She's in band and stuff. She's also an underclassman, so we're not doing that.
Totally. She got a number.
Well, I see her regularly because she's in band and orchestra, and she's an undergrad, and no.
But that doesn't answer the question of, is her number in your cellular phone?
It is not.
Okay.
Kyle
answers the question.
Yes.
All right.
I even get that from time to time too. The last time I went flying down to Orlando. Actually, there's a couple that was on the flight with me going down to Orlando, and they ended up being on the flight coming back. And how did they recognize me?
Switch.
No, I didn't have my Switch at the time. It was before the Switch came out. But on my Surface, I have a Pokemon emulator, and I was going through a randomized ROM and just trying to speed through it as quickly as I could. And they remembered me playing Pokemon Red on my Switch the entire flight. So when we get going back to Chicago, I had it opened up, loaded up with the new ROM, and they got my attention real quick because I had my headset on. Yeah, what's going on? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I just saw you guys when I flew down here 5 days ago.
Yeah.
And they said the same thing. We're like, did you fly down from Chicago like on Thursday night? Yes, I did. How was your trip?
It's good.
Now I want to hear about Brent's nerd self. He was about to talk, and then you guys brought up good topics.
Wait,
but Brent, tell me
which part of my nerd self? Because there's a lot.
I don't know.
There's a lot of different sections.
The enigma that is Brent.
The enigma, like
young Brent.
Okay, like give me something to go on here.
Like the games that young Brent would go to play when he wanted to play games. What was his go-to game?
Oh man, like trying to
I love
think.
how you said it that way.
Well, because Kyle and I we pretty much play the same thing because up until like I left school, where I left to college, like we shared everything. So it was, you know, for
everything.
Now
underwear.
I will say that there is one memory that it's a little
a delayed no, but I know nonetheless.
A little bit of a thorn in Kyle's side, I'm sure. I may have actually told this before, but
wait, when?
We at one point we had to go on some trip. I don't even remember what the trip was for.
Oh yeah,
it was
man.
Right, you know exactly what this is.
I was so sad.
We stayed at this.
Okay.
We stayed at this embassy.
Years later, I'm okay.
Yeah. We stayed at this embassy suite somewhere, and we were going all over the place because it was a huge hotel. And Kyle and I forget. I think we had different. Did we have different cartridges?
Yeah, you had red and I had blue.
So we had different. We each had our own Pokemon cartridge, but we only had one Game Boy. Yeah. And I lost the Game Boy with Kyle's blue in it.
Yeah. Oh.
And and Kyle was understandably devastated because it was, you know, like a year basically of playing.
I forgot how old we were.
I must have been like 9
we were
10.
definitely in.
You were 6 or 7.
Elementary school, middle school, really like.
It was early.
Yeah.
And
minors.
Now my parents thankfully took pity and got Kyle not just another Game Boy, because we had a Game Boy Pocket. Our first Game Boy was a Game Boy Pocket. And they got him a Game Boy Color, and I was like, oh crap, Kyle got an upgrade for losing something?
No, he got an upgrade for you losing something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was a little kid.
I had the Game Boy Brick. Thank you very much. Is my first.
I was a little kid. I was thinking weird. So, but eventually we did end up with our own game. Kyle ended up with like you ended up with the solid purple. I ended up with like the see-through purple one or whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened to that one.
It just disappeared while we were.
That one probably disappeared. I know you. I think you still have your regular Game Boy because I've seen it around.
I have I have a Game Boy Color. I think I have your SP, and I
definitely have my SP.
I
son of a bitch.
And I am happy to say that I have actually bought a brand new charger for it because the original charger stopped working. So if you ever want it back, you will be able to use. I don't know if the battery is all that great because the battery is
you probably have to play with it plugged in all the time.
Yeah, but it's
like
still
the SP. I mean, if we're talking about systems, the Game Boy Advance SP was the best Game Boy Advance.
It was.
The backlit screen. It was just cool looking. I had that like really cool.
The thing is, a lot of people
colored one.
A lot of people don't know.
Like the one I have in my hand right now.
There was There were two versions of the SP. There's the you had the original one, but there's another one that I've never been able to track down because they're apparently much better. The second one had like yours is like it's a backlight, but it's actually front lit technically.
Yeah.
And there is one that came out later that was actually backlit. And so it looks a little bit nicer. I have not been able to track one down because they're apparently like really, really valuable.
Yeah. I would assume so.
Yeah, but then there's that.
I remember that. Well, I mean, even if you're going back, like, I don't think it wasn't a thing that we did during school. Like, I remember it was probably during school time that this happened. But I remember, oh man,
the only time that I played during school was after the DS came out. And I don't know. I forget if I got one for Christmas or if I saved up for it.
Yeah, you got one for. I remember that you got one for Christmas.
And then mom
ended up getting like Mario. Or
mom was really concerned because one of the launch titles, what was it? It was like one of those MIDI game things. Oh, Feel the Magic. Thing is, the cover of Feel the Magic is like a silhouette of a girl in a bikini, and my mom was like, "Brett, what are you playing?" And I'm like, "I don't know why there's a bikini girl on it. It's a bunch of games where you do stuff with the touch screen, and none of them involve you touching a girl in a bikini."
Oh boy!
Like there's no girls in bikini to touch here. There's just. I mean, okay. The thing is, there was a bit of a bad translation. There was a bit of the worst thing is though, there was a bit of a bad translation in the game because there was a group. There's like a sort of a I want to say like cheer squad like that was in the game's story, and they were very unfortunately directly translated into English as the Rub Rabbits.
Oh yes, I remember that. Oh my god,
that's horrible.
That's so funny.
That's hilarious.
Yep. But no, I did play that during like study halls and stuff a bunch.
Yeah. No, I remember it wasn't so. I don't know if it wasn't a during school thing, but I remember. I mean, I must have been like maybe in like 4th, 5th grade, maybe, and I went to a friend's house and they had an N64, and I thought it was the shit. Like I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing, and then I went home and I think I just talked about I don't remember all the details, but I remember talking about it or something like that. And this was back when Blockbuster still existed.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. So I remember our dad went out. Our dad went out at some point and he rented an N64 with Mario Kart. Just so, because he's just like, okay, at least we can rent, we can rent it. We can see how it is. And they want, because he wanted to see, because I didn't know this growing up. Brent apparently got to know this a little bit, but like my dad had an Intellivision.
No,
and he had
not an Intellivision. He had what is it? It wasn't the Atari. It wasn't an Atari 2600. It was the
predecessor.
It was the sequel. Atari came out with like 3 consoles before it originally went defunct. They had the 2600, which sold like, millions upon millions of units. And then there was one that came after that.
Wasn't that Jaguar?
No. This was actually...
Jaguar was the third one,
Okay.
I'll look up the number if I have time here.
But anyway,
but
he had that. But he also told me that they had an Intellivision at some point. But anyway, he went out and he's just like, oh, let's see what this is like or whatever. Because he hadn't bought any gaming system since then. We never had the NES. We never had an SNES. We had like I remember Brent had friends, and we had like family friends who had
Brent had friends.
Yeah, we had a friend who had a Genesis, and we played hockey on it.
That's true, but then he came home, and I remember.
Dad had an Atari 5200, by the way, is what it was.
5200.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he came home with this his N64, and I remember just like all the cables that came with it and stuff like that. And
it was like 2.
It in, and we plugged it in our family room, and we were playing it, and it was so much fun. And I think it was like that year, that Christmas or whatever, we got it. And then it took forever for us to get like decent at the thing. Yeah. Like I remember Brent and I were just terrible. We were afraid of King Bob. We could not get through areas in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time until like one of my friends showed me how to do something, and then after that we were hooked. Like I remember I was hooked at least.
Well, the water tower.
No, man, I'm talking like the first dungeon. Yeah, like
Deku
I was
tree.
that bad. Like I could not get through the freaking Deku tree.
Oh.
Yeah, we were afraid of King Bob-on. I mean, for the first and last time ever, our dad helped us beat a boss in a video game. He looked up on AOL how to beat King Bob-on, and he helped us do it. And after that, we're like, okay, we're good. And then we went from there.
And now it's really funny whenever we whenever our dad would be like, "Hey, let me try that" or whatever. Like, try it, and it would. And we're like, "Oh no, just don't do that! Don't." Do that. We would make sure we have like a separate save file just for Dad, so he wouldn't mess with ours.
I'd hand him the controller when we had GoldenEye. I'd come back, and after I'd go get a drink. I'd come back, and he's just like staring at the ceiling, spinning. I'm like, "What are you doing?"
I'm having fun, boys. Leave me alone.
Okay. What about you? Yeah, Gerbs, you've been pretty quiet.
Well, no, that's fine. I think we should get back to the topic at hand. We did have a good sideways topic, in a sense.
That was I said that came from being at school, and then like
I know. I said it's good.
We're talking about games that we played. It was related.
I know.
He's gonna be like Stewie. He's gonna keep modulating up the more upset he gets.
You know what?
After a while, he's gonna have to start pitching his mic input because his voice can't go that high.
Oh, geez, that's gonna get us some feedback. Careful, we have real microphones to worry about here.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh yeah. Anyways, so now, think about now. Think about the game that you're gonna play.
That sucks.
Yeah. So the game that you're gonna still play, even though you're exhausted and you literally had like a 12-hour shift or whatever kind of shift, and then you had grad school and you had this, that, and everything. But you're still gonna play this one game. What is it?
One game? Man, you're not very ambitious.
Like this is a question that it depends on the time period.
Juggle like 5.
See, it's funny that you bring it up this way because I had one of those after a long week. Last night I got home, and as we all do, we go back and we play video games to unwind. Mm-hmm. I could not last night.
Yeah.
What?
Like no matter what I did, I could not play video games. So with how you phrased it, it was kind of funny. I started to. I logged on to Pokemon Showdown. I was like, okay, I got my VGC team going. Let's see how this does. And realized after 4 turns, I was making critical errors and losing every single game. And I was like, great. This is fun. Yeah. And I was going to text Kyle. I was like, Kyle, play Fortnite with me.
Lame night.
You could have. I mean, that's one of the things I do enjoy. Marcus and I play Fortnite. Very, very, very just mediocrely. Like we do pretty well.
Right, but a lot of that
I have a fun story for off podcast, Marcus. You have to remind me.
Oh yes, I'll have to.
Fun times.
We have fun playing the game together though because we have very similar play styles. We just want to mind our own business and try to get to the very end. We don't care if we get a high kill count or anything. That's not really. I mean, it's cool if we have 5 kills each, but at the same point in time, not something we're going out of our way for. It's like, okay, how can we do things and not get spotted? And okay, let's shack ourselves up here and see here and just wait.
Yeah.
Fine, I won't limit it to just one game.
But I mean, no, because
what game will you want? What games will you want to play?
Well, I mean, I'm balancing a couple games right now.
Okay. And
like I know, like I'm trying to do a bunch of things. Like I'm trying to get my brain ready for school, so I'm reading more.
Same.
I'm trying to just like get my brain ready for that kind of thing. But game wise, I'm currently balancing Octopath Traveler, which right now is like grind city. It is like I need to go into the forest and kill a boar 50 million times.
Sounds like my kind of game.
What do you mean? What do we do now? Now we can play the game.
now we can play the game. That reference.
That was perfect time for.
It's for you South Park fans out there. So I'm balancing that. I'm also playing quite a bit of Dead Cells, and Dead Cells is like the perfect game that I can just jump in and out of. Like that's the game that I would feel completely comfortable bringing into school whenever I have a free moment, starting a run, and then if I die, whatever, I can just turn it off, no big deal. Because that game is just that's just how that game works. It's every time you come back, you start at the beginning, and then you just try to go as far as you can. And then if you die, you lose minimal things, and then you go back to the beginning and you do it again.
Sorry, I didn't hear the game because I was.
It's called Dead Cells. It is a fun game. It's gotten lots of great reviews and one very plagiarized review, which has been a big thing in the gaming industry. But we don't need to
talk about it.
We're not going to talk about that. But I'm balancing that. But then like those are the 2 main games I'm balancing really. Like I mean Fortnite, like Marcus and I will play. But then there's like a big group of games which I call the like I want to get to, and I will get to them, but it's going to be like, okay, I have all make sure I have all my work done, or like I'm done for the night. I'm just playing this. And those things are like freaking No Man's Sky. because I'm like still like determined to get through bits of that. It's a great game. I really enjoy just like escapism with it. But there's that. There's I got Okami on Switch because I'm like I've never played through all of it.
It's like a 40-hour game.
It's a long game. Yeah, I know. That's like the majority of my games now are these like really stupidly long games. And then there's like a bunch of really great games coming out that I will play no matter what if I'm busy or not. So I'll let someone else go. What?
Even if you're dying?
If I'm dying, yeah, no. If I'm dying and I have Smash on my Switch, I'm just gonna play Smash on Switch.
Smash Bros.
Or Pokemon when Let's Go Eevee comes out, man. So much Pokemon.
All right, so let's hear from Brent. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Like, what am I going to play on any given night?
Well,
Brent doesn't count. Brent's the same level of busy all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of true, actually.
That busy.
So you just want to disinclude him from the conversation?
No, I mean,
is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Right. I mean,
wow.
right
He's
now,
so mad about the Game Boy.
Right now, I'm in the middle of Hollow Knight.
Karma.
Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know how far I am in it. The last thing I got was a super dash that allows you to like traverse big gaps.
Oh man, I would say you're like 3/5 the way. So like more than half, but not quite 3/4.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I know where to go next to get the next upgrade because of the map and everything. Although for the last day, what I discovered that due to a sale, the like complete edition of Battlefield 1 was like $9. So I'm like, hey, I'm not a multiplayer person at all, but I'll pay $9 for what I've heard is a pretty okay short campaign. So that's what I did the last day is I played that.
I was curious. I saw you on there and I'm like, Battlefield 1. What happened to Brent?
Well, right.
Did someone hack his account?
I know, right? Because I never play that crap.
You never play that, man. Now, if you started playing Call of Duty Black Ops,
okay. So full disclosure, though, I genuinely like, even though I'm not a multiplayer guy, I genuinely like Call of Duty World War II because that is what Call of Duty is supposed to be.
That's true. That is not Black Ops.
Yes.
I've played anytime that a Call of Duty game is a World War II shooter.
Back during the 360 days, I did rent Black Ops 1 and 2, and I played the campaigns. They were terrible, but I played them. I don't know why people wanted a Black Ops 3, but I guess there's something to the multiplayer about that people really like.
Dude, the multiplayer is okay.
Yeah.
It's arcade shooting. It's fast. It's like the evolution of what Quake was. But now that Quake's going to be coming back.
Yeah, Quake's back. So now it's like, okay, so I don't see, there's no purpose of Call of Duty being around unless it's like a historical war setting. I don't see that.
We just alienated like anyone that could be listening that likes Call of Duty.
No. We're not alienating. We're teaching.
Hey. We must be equalized. We must not discriminate.
We're not alienating. We are teaching.
This is a history lesson, kids.
Black Ops is not the good game.
It is an empirical, opinionated, yet somehow true fact that Call of Duty is not as good as Quake.
That's true. If you want to play Call of Duty the way that Call of Duty was meant to, play Call of Duty 1, 2
or 3,
and Modern Warfare, and that is all.
and I would say
Modern
World War
Warfare
2
is good.
Modern Warfare 2 is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
my favorite one.
It's pretty good. Okay.
No. Okay. Back.
Which one did they make a remake of? The first one.
Yep.
Which is
I will find you,
finish him,
and destroy you. Because I know where you live. I mean, what?
That's a terrifying thing.
You do not know where I live.
I can find very easily.
True.
Brent will tell him.
Maybe.
Brent.
Huh? What?
Don't say it on the podcast because then people will know where I live.
I know. I just.
Not now. Later.
Hey, so I'm gonna tell you.
Kyle lives in Honolulu.
Oh yes.
What?
So get there. Book your plane tickets
on
now.
the side of Mekakaliki Laka.
Yes.
Yes.
Mekakaliki. That's a thing to see.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I said it.
Gerb,
Anyway,
you were gonna say your game.
Game that I'll play, even though I'm busy, and you guys all love this game. Destiny 2 and Forsaken's coming out soon. Yeah.
So
What was the last time?
And now comes to the part of the podcast where we bash Destiny.
Okay.
By bashing Destiny is when we walk away.
I literally
so much.
I actually had to call Xbox support today because I accidentally ordered something when my TV went on the fritz. It wasn't Destiny, but when I called, the very first thing that like the robot lady says to you is, "If you're having problems with your Destiny order, do this."
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, you got problems.
No. See, the question though is that a Xbox thing, or is that a Bungie
I'm
thing?
pretty sure it's a Bungie thing.
There you go.
No.
Poor Bungie.
Bungie,
They tried so hard.
Hey,
and they didn't try as hard.
I play it, and I still play it because the beauty. I love it.
We're not judging you for playing the game. We're just judging the game.
We're judging the game.
We're not. We perfectly understand your reasons. We're just judging the game because we can.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't judge this game. It's good.
And welcome to Stream of Gaming, the podcast where we bash Destiny as much as possible.
You know, it's funny that you say that. While we were waiting for you to get on, that's pretty much we were going through just practice intros, and that's the first thing he says.
That's what I said.
Gaming, the weekly podcast where we bash Destiny.
That should be like one of our topics. One time we should do like a really like quick like mini episode where it's like, here's all of our like attempted intros, and we just come up with like a bunch of them each, and we just like read them off. Like, welcome to Stream of Gaming.
That's basically what the Stream of Gaming is.
The podcast where we play video games while we talk to you. Or
that ends up being the face reveal of everything. It's just we're all going back and forth of just these different titles of us just busting out laughing.
Welcome to our holiday special. Santa isn't real. Like, what do you want?
Podcast where Roscoe barks at every podcast.
Welcome to Stream of Gaming. This podcast is now irrelevant because you're listening to it in the year 2020.
Yeah.
Welcome to Stream of Gaming.
Anyways,
man,
so
we could probably go on forever with that.
You're playing Destiny. Are you planning on playing anything else?
Yes, I always play Pokemon Go. Every day. I love taking.
You have plans on playing a video game?
A non-mobile game.
A non-mobile game. That's true. I shouldn't bash the mobile games. They can be legitimate.
Roscoe and I have a good time.
Yeah, no, I think of the mobile games and like of the mobile game genre, it is one of the better ones because it has you interacting with the virtual world in the real world versus just being on your phone. Like, because to me, if I'm playing like what I would consider like a console game, but on a mobile device, I might as well just play it on a console.
Right.
You know, like people have, because if maybe they don't have a console that plays Fortnite, I don't know how they don't.
I mean, if you own a console and
they decide to play
new.
Fortnite on their phone, you know, sure. But if you have the console that plays it, play it on the console.
Yeah.
Like, holy moly.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to play Fortnite because it is not I would not put it in the top 10 games of all time.
Fortnite is Minecraft and Hunger Games combined.
That's
not accurate. Really.
That's not very accurate at all.
He just says it because there's building and he hates
there's building in it. There's not. I mean, there's a survival element, but it's not against NPCs. It's against other players.
Hey, I like the Hunger Games. I'm not dissing the Hunger Games.
Oh no.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I hate Minecraft.
Okay.
Right, but this is way different than Minecraft.
This is way different than Minecraft. Like Minecraft, like if you don't like,
it's Minecraft.
If you don't like Minecraft, you wouldn't like No Man's Sky. Like that's like an avid, debate. Coming up with funny names for them doesn't help your argument, Gerber.
I don't care. Okay, so the other game that I would be playing, two other games. One is Overcooked.
Oh, heck yeah. Game. Wait, did you get the first one or second one?
I have the first one right now.
Okay. Overcooked is so fucking fun.
Dude, I need someone to come over and play with me. It's so much fun.
Dude, yeah, if I'm in town, I'll let you know and we can
I need another cook.
Yeah, oh seriously. That game gets so much better and also more hilarious when you have more people.
My girlfriend's supposed to be playing with me soon.
Okay, that's good.
Mario Kart 8. Woo! I just got a Nintendo Switch.
He got a Switch. It's official, everyone. Everyone on Stream of Gaming has a Switch.
Oh,
now the only console that we just need to get Marcus an Xbox, and we'll be complete.
Oh, the three of you are each putting in $100 to buy me an Xbox?
No, I'm okay with you not having an Xbox. You do you, man.
You guys all can have a PS4 on your money.
Yeah, man, I don't make
or
money.
I could upgrade my entire or I could upgrade my entire PC rig for the amount of a brand new thing.
Hey, here's an idea. We should
no barking. No barking.
Hey everyone. If you want to support us and the podcast, you can support us on
give us money and we'll buy ourselves consoles.
Where you can give us money so we can all have all the same consoles.
Oh my god.
Or we can just argue about it, saying the PS4 is better, because it is.
PC Master Race, bitches.
All I'm saying is that whenever we're talking about games, 9 times out of 10, it's either the Xbox, PC, or Switch, and it's very rarely the PS4 that we're talking about.
It's true.
Hey.
I mean, okay, if we want to take a sidestep and say a game that I wish I was playing this fall that I'm like really jealous of is freaking Spider-Man.
It's actually looking pretty good.
Yeah, like I'm so jealous that freaking Insomniac decides to put it on PlayStation because freaking Sony owns Spider-Man.
It's awesome. You're just jealous.
That's why I said I'm upset. I'm upset.
He is. Yeah, because it does look very good. We'll see how it falls in terms of gameplay and actual dialogue when we get to it, but it looks very promising.
Come over and play with me if you like Spider-Man.
I will do that.
I pre-ordered.
I also at some point, if you're okay, would like to just like borrow your probably when I'm more free.
You could borrow
your PS3 and like play some shit. Yeah, because I need to play stuff. Yeah.
I have all the games and stuff.
All the games.
All of them. Every single Kingdom Hearts.
Oh man. Not all of them yet. 3's coming out. I'm excited.
Soon.
Because it's coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, anyway,
right.
So what else is that? So those are the things you're playing, Gerbs, or you're
dude, Destiny right now. You only have until like August 28th to complete this like Triumph package.
Yeah.
You have to get this is armor you build up. You have to do certain challenges and stuff. It's a major grind, and you only got until August 28th to get this exclusive armor that's 400 light, which is that's 15 light higher than anybody else. So it's a grind, but it's well worth it. And I'm doing it, but not as far as a lot of people because I didn't play any video games for 3 weeks straight. That's how busy I've been. I have better things to do. I have a girlfriend I love, so I spend a lot of time with her. So there you go.
Wow, way to just put that down.
Yeah, really.
Well, you know what? It's true. I'm not trying to rub it in, Kyle.
I think you are. I think you're trying to rub it in.
Well, you know what, Kyle?
You wouldn't have had this problem if that girl that asked to play Mario Kart with you would have given you her number.
Boom.
Exactly.
Sad day.
Thank you, Marcus.
And we come full circle.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, me? Oh, no, that would not happen. And I don't want that to happen, just letting you know.
All right, Marcus's turn. Marcus didn't get a turn.
Oh, games that I'm going to go back to. Well, I think as of right now, my go-to game has been Ace Academy, really, because I'm pretty far along on the route that I'm doing. I'm really close. I had a moment that just encountered on my latest playthrough of it that's up on my channel, my YouTube channel, and I damn near peed my pants because it terrified the ever-loving shit out of me.
Oh, is that the one that has like it says Doki? Don't like.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Doki,
It's
Doki.
titled Mayu Goes Doki Doki because it goes Doki Doki. I'm like, this is not Okie Doki.
Little plug. If you want to go follow and support Marcus on his YouTube channel.
Yeah,
is it just like YouTube-Siler Clone?
YouTube.com/Siler Clone, like Siler from Heroes.
Yeah.
Yes, great TV show.
It was until it got weird.
Yeah, I know.
Which was like halfway through season 2.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, good show. The funny thing about that, the Heroes page on Facebook was showing up of, here, click play on this video. It's going to cycle through all these powers and hit pause, and that's the one that you are. What do I get? I pause. Siler. Like, okay, this is meant to be.
You are pretty evil too, so it makes sense.
No, it was more of just intuitive adaptation or something like that. I don't remember the actual technical term with it, but it's pretty much he learned how to adapt and how the powers worked, and that's pretty much me. If you guys have watched me play a game or something, I just kind of okay, oh, that's how that works, and then understand it. I could have never played it before, and it's just, oh, I've watched this enough. This is how this works.
It's the meme with the brain like continually getting more advanced.
Yeah.
The
but Ace has definitely been my go-to lately. I really want to go through and do all the routes. I'm finishing the one that I started when it was in early access. So once I finish the route with the girl Mayu, I want to go back because there are several others too. Plus there's the best friend guy that's in there, and I want to see kind of how one interaction plays out because I've skipped over it twice now. I've finished the game before, and with one route, I'm not saying who it was with, but it was a good route. But I've seen the interaction with this friend of it's always at this option of you go advance your relationship with the girl you're trying to woo, or check out how your bro is doing. It's like, but titties, bro, lady, dumbass friend, pretty lady, dumbass friend, pretty lady. Otherwise, I got to go back to Knights of the Old Republic too. I've just fallen so much for Ace again. It's just kind of taken me over a little bit. And soon, Crystalline will be out in full access. I need to get back onto it and finish up some mini game stuff and doing some testing for them because their Patreons got the option to be able to take a look at the mini games they're developing just to test them out, make sure everything's working. So that'll be a fun one. But a game that I wish I could play more of. That's or I have time to play more of. That's actually a tough one. Because I would still say the games that I was talking about, I wish I had more time to be able to play. Because puppy, I wish I had more time to be able to play because I seldomly have time to go through them. And I want to spend more time rather than, I spent 2 hours playing through Ace Academy and getting a recording going. Or same thing with KOTOR. It'd be great to do, but I'd like to have more time to really enjoy them and get so immersed because you get into this groove of playing a game, and we all do, where you just get so sucked in after a certain point that like it's so hard to leave. Yeah, and when you take that break and you force yourself away and you come on back, the joy's just kind of gone because you broke away from that high point that you were at before, and you're trying to get it back, and you just have no idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be
that happened to me. That happened to me pretty much every single time I've played Fallout 4. And like I have like all the DLC and stuff for it, and I have never gotten that far. And then like I don't play it for a long time because like another thing comes along, and I'm like, ooh, shiny, and I play that thing. And then I try to come back to Fallout 4, and I'm like, where the heck am I? And then I have to start again.
Right, and a game like that just takes forever.
Yeah, I know.
I guess I could say that the cliche thing just because it's big right now. I wish I had more time to be able to play a game like Fortnite or any other multiplayer game with friends.
Yeah, I mean
that's just
true.
an example. Fortnite just happens to be the big one because it's the only one as of now that I play with a friend.
Yeah. When Smash comes out, we'll make time to play Smash with everybody.
I'm gonna be playing way too much Smash.
We're gonna smash each other.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good thing we're not in the same room like we normally are when we play Smash.
Oh, maybe we will be. It comes out in December because I'll be at home during some of that time.
This is true, and with how
I like being in the same room as you.
Oh,
that
was adorable.
You know, I blushed. I'm blushing a little bit. Stop it. With how Smash is looking, the Castlevania characters look broken as all get up. We were talking about that before you joined us earlier, Kyle.
Yeah.
And if they are as broken as their announcement seems, I'm going to main the ever-loving daylights out of both of them. Well, I mean, you saw the trailer for him. The whip on him is just got an insanely long hitbox. It's got a super long range, and it tips like Martha Roy's sword.
Yeah. They're gonna. I feel like they're gonna have to nerf some of that.
Oh yeah, it's
gonna be like great. It reaches longer, but it is not as powerful. You know, it's not gonna do as much damage.
I think what we'll see though, since it's gonna be an online game for sure, is still along the lines of the Wii U one, and pretty much anything like Fortnite, PUBG, League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch. You get what I'm saying?
It's gonna keep adapting.
Stuff's gonna constantly patch it and evolve. So you're gonna rotate through all the characters because let's say, for example, Pichu's damage ratio to himself is 2% for every electric attack, or 3%. Mm-hmm. Let's round up and say 3%. Well, what if they cut it to 1 and boost his attack just a little bit, or they keep it at 3 but boost the damage his attacks do by, like, I don't know, 0.25 if they're using a ratio, it's something like that. People could start playing Pichu out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And stuff like that's exciting to see in a Smash game because let's face it, with Melee and Brawl and even Smash 64, it's all the same characters all the time.
Yeah, because they figured out what characters work best, and they're not gonna, there's no way for them to update them.
Right. It's almost impossible. But yeah, I think we all can agree with the following statement. I wish I had more time to play some games.
True. Yeah, I wish I had some more. You know, I was thinking about this as I was on a walk when Gerbs said, like, hey, this is what we should talk about this week. And I'm like, yes. And then I immediately thought, too, I'm like, man, I wish I could do some, like, freaking Harry Potter shit and, like, have a freaking time turner. So, like, I could have oneself do, like, all the things I need to do as, like, a human being of, like, do like, homework and practice.
Be responsibility, Kyle. I'll be gaming,
and then
Kyle.
Go back to the beginning of the day and just play video games.
I don't know. Hermione got pretty overwhelmed in that book.
She did,
but she was being 2 times productivity, Hermione. Kyle wants to be 1 times productivity, Kyle, and
Correct.
1 times.
Yeah, my other life
Kyle.
my other self is not going to do shit except for play video games.
Right. And that was something Hermione was. They
she did it wrong. She did it wrong.
They gave her the option to do that. She said, they all said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And they gave her this option. Like, there's this way you could do all this stuff because
Man, if they could do that, it's like because of the way that credits work at my university, both semesters last year I was on overload, and I felt like it would have been nice to, like, have a time turner in those moments where I'm like, it wasn't that I had classes that were at the same time, but it was just like, there were so many. What are you doing, Gerbs?
Nothing.
Are you talking to Roscoe?
No.
The mini Chewbacca?
No. I was just doing the Harry Potter Puppet Pals.
Oh my goodness. I was
here,
like,
just hear it in the background.
And I'm like, what is he doing?
Anyway. Snake.
Severus.
Dumbledore!
But I was
really loud.
Really quiet.
It's quiet enough that we're all just kind of, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? Gerb started talking to himself. It's okay.
Started talking to himself implies that he never was in the first place.
What? But yeah.
Surprise Dumbledore should be on like the official soundboard of Stream of Gaming.
What should be? What should be? Yeah.
Like I'm saying, if we had like an official like radio style soundboard for Stream of Gaming, one of them would need to be Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
But it's Kyle's rendition just because it all just peaks at Dumbledore.
Yeah, it was just like so loud.
Or do we get the original one? Do we sample the original one and just turn up the volume on it?
Oh yeah,
or something.
Yeah,
it has to be like it has to be
one of those videos that's like
just
one of those things where it's like every time someone says this, it gets like crazier.
Every time you say Dumbledore, it clips more.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time you make fun of Destiny, someone will come and hit you.
The first one's really fine. It's like Dumbledore, and then Dumbledore.
Eventually, it's like a Call of
By
Duty
the end of the
montage.
podcast, it like ruptures an eardrum or six.
It's like doesn't sound like Dumbledore.
It ends up being like a Call of Duty montage where people are screaming after a headshot. That makes me think of
something that I'm going to put on the Discord and look it up right now.
Thank you for sharing with the rest of the class. I have no idea what's going on.
The stopping point. I feel like.
I think so too. I think it's a good stopping point.
Absolutely.
So next week's topic might be. I actually thought about it. That side character who comes along with you, your buddy or your animal comes along with you in a video game. Your favorite ones that you remember, and you're like, that's a good sidekick, or that's a really bad one. Anyways, that might be the topic next week. But until then, so you should please visit patreon.com/streaminggaming if you'd like to help us. Yeah,
don't just visit, like put some money.
Hit the button and support us and start backing. So for cool stuff.
A cent a month. No joke. Anything. Also, you should press the subscribe button on multiple platforms that we have.
Jeez, your audio is going kind of crazy.
Yeah, Gerbs, your audio has been like super weird.
Yeah, you're starting to sound like a robot.
Yeah,
super weird.
Anyway,
this has been Streaming Gaming. I'm Gerbs.
I'm Brent.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Marcus.
See you around.
See you next week. Bye, Felicia.
Oh God, it's Robot Felicia. Hi.
Yeah, you sound like a freaking robot, dude.
I almost.